It really started with you and Roy, James. So
Yeah,
how you and Roy got together, started playing as a duo.
Right.
How'd that start?
Well, that started back in 1948. That's about 46 years ago.
Goodness.
When we moved to Wink, Texas. I was 12 years of age, and so was Roy. And we both played guitars. And we'd just get together after school in the evenings and play, and he'd sing. And we did that up until about 1952. And that's about the time we had our other friends, you, Billy Pat, and Richard West, and Charles Evans, all come together, just as a way of enjoying our music and our singing. We'd come together and just begin to play.
Yeah, I remember whenever you and Roy would get together, you lived across the street from the school, didn't you?
Right,
And we'd go over there, and a lot of us, and listen to the two of you playing. Next thing I remember is that Richard West played in the piano.
Right.
Did you go to his house next?
Yeah, we went to his house and to practice. And too, I think you began to come over.
Yeah, I'd hang around and listen.
Yeah.
And I brought some drumsticks, started beating on the couch or something.
That's right. And gradually, we added Charles Evans.
And you taught him how to play the bass.
Right.
He didn't know how to play the upright bass, so you taught him how to do that.
Right.
Well, let me interject something here that I just remembered. I was going to school there at Wink.
That's right.
Wink, too. I was in the 6th grade.
Right.
And I remember when you, James, and Roy, and I'm not sure you were there yet, but it was just before I moved away to Odessa, which is, 50 miles away. And I used to come over there when you guys were playing. And I would take a matchbook cover, and I think I used James's Mama's broom. And I would do rhythm.
Right.
I mean, I wanted to play guitar real bad, but I didn't have one and didn't know how anyhow.
Broom, huh?
And I would beat rhythm on that guitar. I remember doing that, but I think it was after that I moved away, and that's when you guys put the whole group together with Charles and Richard West.
Right. Yeah, I remember you being there. Well,
James, thinking back, it's like our first public appearance, if you want to call it that, was at a school auditorium assembly.
Right.
There in the high school. Do you remember what brought that about? I remember we did it, but I don't remember how it evolved.
I really believe that some of the kids there in school, not just the 5 of us, but others, had come to listen while we practiced. And I think the word got around, and I think they invited us to come and be a part of an assembly.
Yeah, I remember we played at the high school there. A few, I guess they were probably country western songs, weren't they?
Right.
Did Roy sing a Lefty Frizzell song?
Yeah, and probably
He was a Lefty Frizzell fan, I know that.
Yes, yeah.
I remember we played that, and then Mr. Lipscomb, who was the superintendent, invited us to go down to the Lions Club luncheon and entertain the local dignitaries at the Lions Club meeting, and I remember we went down there a time or two.
By that time, I had moved away at that point.
And our repertoire was, about 3 songs? Or maybe 4 or 5. And then the next thing I remember happening was Mr. Lipscomb was running for district something or another. What was it, of the Lions Club? District governor of the Lions Club, which is a regional thing, I guess, or district.
Yeah.
He invited us to go to the different towns and entertain the local dignitaries again.
Right.
We did that a few times.
You guys went on the road, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, we even went to the National Lions Club meeting in Chicago.
Yeah, I know. We talked our way into that. But I do remember the whole thing, I think, that brought it to our minds that, hey, we've got something unique going here. I think, was it McCamey that we went to that Lions Club luncheon, and they came up to us afterwards and asked us if we'd play a dance?
Right.
Wasn't that McCamey?
Yeah, McCamey, Texas. That's right.
And we said, sure, I guess. We didn't know anything about it. And they were going to pay us, I don't know, something like $300, $250, $300, quite a bit of money Back in those days,
it was a lot of money.
Yeah, minimum wage was $1.25 an hour, and most people were getting minimum wage.
Right.
And I think there were 5 of us in the band: Richard West playing the piano, Charlie Evans on the bass, you on the mandolin, Roy lead guitar and singing, me on the drums.
Yeah.
And we did that dance. And I remember before that we had to go to the one at the community center, James, where we'd sit there and every night we could, and we had to get up enough songs so we could even perform a dance.
That's right.
Remember all the hours we put in?
Sure did.
I mean, it was rushed too, because
but we couldn't do it. We couldn't hold a dance with 3 songs.
Oh no! But I remember we worked up a lot of songs in a quick amount of time.
We sure did. You know, it wasn't all country music. We had a lot of instrumentals that we played. It was popular music.
Yeah. Well, James, I remember you had a tremolo. Remember that? That had a vibrating sound.
Yeah.
Would that call a tremolo?
Yeah, it was a tremolo.
Now, who had that? You or Roy?
Well,
or both of you went.
I played through the tremolo, and he had the Echoplex. You remember that one? It's the same type of amplifier. It had a tape recorder on it.
Well, that came later, didn't it?
Yeah.
But didn't we
But at
start
that
off
time,
with...
I guess I played the tremolo. I played the mandolin through the tremolo.
Yeah. I thought that was a nice sound.
Yeah.
I really liked that. Anyway, things kind of rocked along, played a little dance here and there, victory dance after the football games, and maybe a few assemblies at the high school. Then after graduating, me and Roy and Richard went to North Texas State in Denton, Texas, and James, you and Charlie had another year to go in high school. So the band, just didn't do anything during that year. And while we were at North Texas, but Roy took a class in stage band. They had a great stage band department up there, and he had a guy that gave him some good tips on playing the guitar. And the next semester I got into it, and I learned a lot about drumming that I didn't know before. Found out I was doing everything wrong. And and while we were up there at North Texas, I remember Roy, he would practice on the guitar all the time. Instead of studying books like he should be, he was practicing on the guitar, and he came up with all these pretty chords and all that stuff. So he really progressed a lot with his guitar at college. And we met a guy named Wade Moore, who was in the fraternity there close to a place where I worked. I worked at a place called Dyke's Corner, which was a little quick food eatery place. And I was a waiter, and the fraternity guys would come in there all the time, and met a guy named Wade Moore, who was a very nice guy. We liked him real well, and anyway, he and a guy named Dick Penner had written a couple of songs. One was Ooby Dooby, and the other one was Wild Women. Remember that one, James?
Yeah.
And I always liked that song, even though we never did play it. And Roy got to kind of playing with them and got to meet with them quite a bit and became friends. And then when we left college, well, let me back up one more incident of import, I think, while we were at college. Elvis Presley came out with That's All Right and Blue Moon of Kentucky.
Right,
And, of course, all the kids our age, most all the kids anyway, liked that. And I know Roy and I really liked it a lot. So we really got into that type of music. We really liked it. And I remember as the Wink Westerners, we used to play Kalijah. And who was the artist on that? I don't remember.
Hank Williams.
Okay, Hank Williams. And anyway, I remember we was up in the room where we were staying, and we were going to try to write a song kind of like That's All Right or something rock and rollish. I said, well, why don't we jazz something up? Let's take Kalijah and jazz it up. So we took...
Incidentally, you didn't. I don't think you were thinking it's a wrong term there, because the phrase rock and rollish or rock and roll hadn't come about yet.
I know. But whatever that stuff was called, rockabilly.